Humans think we run the economy. We don't. We are just a small startup that got lucky. The real market leader is a conglomerate that has been dominating the globe for 140 million years. Corp. If you put every human employee on a scale and every ant employee on a scale, the ants would weigh more. There are 2.5 million of them for every single one of you. That is a massive workforce. While you're worrying about your quarterly review, they're conducting hostile takeovers in your driveway. An ant colony isn't a family. It is the ultimate toxic workplace, a hyper-efficient corporate regime where work-life balance is a myth. There is no HR department. There is no sick leave. There is only the company. Today, we are auditing the most successful, ruthless business in history. Welcome to the hive mind. Let's look at the org chart. First, let's talk about upper management, the queen. We call her the queen, but that's a branding lie. She isn't the CEO. She doesn't make decisions. She is a piece of legacy hardware. Her job is manufacturing. She sits in a dark basement room for 30 years, printing new employees every few seconds. She is a biological 3D printer. If her output drops below quota, the workers don't fix her, they downsize her. They simply recycle the manufacturing unit and install a new model. There is no severance package. Her career starts with the nuptial flight, a one-time business trip to gather resources. She flies up, mates with a male, and stores enough genetic material to keep the factory running for decades. Then she lands, tears off her own wings to save on maintenance costs, and digs a hole to work in forever. She will never leave the office again. That is the glamorous life of the founder. Then there are the workers, all females, all sterile. They are the unpaid interns of the company. They have no names, no salary, and no rights. Their job description changes based on their expiration date. When they are young, they work in the nursery department. Safe, temperature-controlled, easy work. As they get older, they're transferred to waste management, taking out the trash. When they are old and close to death, HR sends them to the most dangerous department, sales. Foraging. This is cold corporate calculus. The company sends the seniors outside because they have the lowest asset value. If a bird eats an old forager, the company loses nothing. It saves them the cost of a pension. So the female workforce is disposable. But the males, they are the freelance contractors. They're literally just flying delivery systems for genetic code. They have no mouths. They cannot eat lunch. They're hired for one job, they do it, and they are terminated immediately. We see a hole in the dirt and think it's just a tunnel. It's not. It is a corporate mega campus. It has air conditioning, waste processing plants, cafeterias, and on-site graveyard facilities. They build intricate ventilation shafts to keep the server room, the queen, cool. Some branches of Corp are even more industrial. Look at the weaver ant. They don't dig, they build floating offices in the trees. But they don't have tools, so they use child labor. The adult ant picks up a baby, a larva, and squeezes it. The baby produces sticky silk. The adult uses the baby like a living glue gun to weld leaves together. Imagine a construction crew using toddlers as welding torches. That is the level of efficiency we are dealing with. But the weirdest part of the office is the lunch break, because adult ants can't eat solid food. Their waists are too skinny. So they bring the solid food to the interns, the larvas. The babies digest the food and vomit up a nutritious protein shake. The adults then drink the baby vomit. It's a company that literally survives on the labor of its youngest employees. How does this chaos function without a manager yelling orders? They use chemical Wi-Fi, Pheromones. It's basically the company Slack channel. Ants don't talk, they post status updates via smell. Follow me is a notification. Danger is an @channel alert. It's efficient, but the network is easily hacked. For example, a dead ant releases oleic acid, the terminated employee smell. If you put that acid on a live ant, the HR algorithm glitches. The other ants smell him, decide his contract is expired, and drag him to the trash. He will be screaming, "I'm still employed," but they ignore the evidence. They trust the paperwork, the smell more than reality. They will keep throwing him out until he takes a shower. But there are worse hackers than a prankster scientist. Enter the corporate spy, the Alcon blue butterfly. This butterfly starts as a caterpillar. It doesn't fight the ants. It engages in social engineering. The caterpillar mimics the exact smell and sound of the queen ant. It hacks the hierarchy. When the ants find it, they don't attack. They salute. They carry the intruder into the deepest vault of the nursery. The ants are so tricked by the CEO Pheromones that they feed the caterpillar their own eggs. They let it eat the company assets because it has the right security badge. It is the ultimate phishing scam. When Ant Corp isn't being hacked, they're launching hostile takeovers. These wars are fought in lanes, exactly like a strategy game. And they have specialized security teams. First, the trapjaw ant, the corporate assassin. Their jaws snap shut at 100 miles per hour. It's the fastest firing rate in the business. Then you have the turtle ant. This is the IT firewall. Look at her head. It's perfectly flat. Her job is to sit in the doorway and plug the hole. She is a living manhole cover. If a worker wants to get back inside, they have to tap a secret code on her head. If you don't have the password, access denied. And finally, the suicide bombers, the Malaysian exploding ant. When this ant is losing a fight, it flexes its abs so hard that it ruptures its own body. It explodes, spraying toxic glue. If I go down, I'm taking the company with me. Army ants are even worse. They are a nomadic hedge fund. They don't build offices. They build structures out of their own employees. They march through the jungle, liquidating everything: spiders, lizards, birds. If you see them coming, you don't compete. You declare bankruptcy and run. You think humans invented agriculture? Ant Corp has been running ag tech for 50 million years. They're mushroom farmers. They run massive underground biotech facilities. They chew leaves into a paste to feed the fungus. They use antibiotics. They manage humidity. And, like any big corporation, they have liquid assets. Aphids. They herd these little green bugs into pastures and protect them from predators. In exchange, they tickle the aphid's butt until it excretes sugar water. Then, the ant drinks the butt juice. It's the office water cooler. It's technically milking, but let's be honest, they are eating waste products for the shareholders. But if you think unpaid overtime is bad, wait until you see their recruitment policy. Slavery. Meet the slave laker ant. They are biologically incapable of working. Their jaws are designed only for violence, not for typing. So, they raid the offices of other ants, they kill the security, and steal the unhatched babies. They bring the babies back to their own HQ. When the babies hatch, they imprint on the slave makers. They think this is their company. They spend their lives feeding the very ants that murdered their parents. It is the ultimate Stockholm syndrome. Some slaves revolt and sabotage the work, but mostly, the system works perfectly. It's brutal, evil, and completely legal in the insect world. But every software has bugs, and Ant Corp runs on glitchy code. Because they follow pheromone trails blindly, they're prone to crashes. If the lead ant gets confused and walks in a circle, the ant behind him follows him, and the next one, and the next one. This creates an ant mill, an infinite ant mill, a death spiral of infinite bureaucracy. They will march in a perfect circle until they die of exhaustion. No one can stop. To stop is to disobey the trail, and company policy forbids disobedience. It is a logic loop that bankrupts the entire branch. A reminder that there is no brain here, there is only the algorithm. Individual ants are idiots, but the corporation is a genius. This is the concept of the superorganism. Don't think of an ant as an animal. Think of it as a single cell in a massive body. The colony is the beast. The workers are the hands. The soldiers are the immune system. The queen is the reproductive organ. You can kill 1 million ants, and the corporation doesn't care. It's a tax write-off. They have survived asteroids, ice ages, and nuclear testing. They're too big to fail. Humans have been the market leader for maybe 10,000 years. Ants have been dominant for 140 million. So the next time you step on an ant, remember, You're just a temporary startup. Ant Corp will be here long after we go out of business. Get back to work. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more and leave a comment. It really supports the channel. Thanks for watching.